We're going on a field trip today. I'm Brandy, the mom behind Aunt Bindy's bookshelf, and today I'm taking you on a tour of Denver's Downtown Aquarium. We're going to explore all they have to offer, from isolated desert pools to the vast ocean surrounding a sunken shipwreck. Come on, let's see what we can find. All right, grown-ups, let's start with some logistics before we explore. Just a heads up, I'll put chapters in the description, so if there's a part you want to check out again, you can find it easily. Here we go. At the time of this filming, time tickets were required. I bought tickets day of, and it looked like they still had tons of availability, but that might not be the case during the busy summer season. I can't say. Parking costs $8, but it is nice and close. No food or drinks is allowed in the exhibits, so snack up before you start exploring. Let's head in. We're going up the escalator through this cool tunnel. Now we go through an entry point with lots of buttons to push and play with. Once we get into the exhibit portion of the aquarium, it's divided into different ecosystems. The first area we go through is the North American wilderness. This exhibit includes fish and wildlife native to North America, so it's a great place to start. My favorite in this area is the river otters. They were taking a nap when we visited, but if you can see them during playtime, it's an absolute highlight. You'll spend so much time there. They are the funniest little clowns. You can also see this giant snapping turtle, and look up, there's fish above our heads. Here's Colorado's state fish, the greenback cutthroat trout. After the North American wilderness, we move into the desert. The desert exhibit has this great simulation of a flash flood roaring down through desert canyons. Now, this is the only area of the aquarium that I think might be a little scary for kids. It is really cool if you're up for it, but just be aware of that. Warning, you can get wet. I opted to stay in the dry zone, but Noah chose to risk it and ended up drenched. Are you wet, Noah? Yeah. Also in the desert exhibit are some fish native to the coast, like these massive sturgeon and catfish. They're huge. And check out these tide pools. This is also one area where they have some non-fish animals. There were a few snakes, a toad, and other smaller enclosures to explore. From the desert, we move under the sea. This is one of the massive tanks holding tons of tropical species. Look at the end of this eel. And here's the top half of his buddy. And you get to walk right through the middle of the tank. Holy cow, a StingRay swam right over us. Look at his mouth. And if you're lucky, you'll see the rare scuba fish. This particular diver and his partner were cleaning the exhibit. There's also some smaller tanks here. Check out these spiny lobsters and these lovely ladies or gentlemen. There's also a small play area for kids to crawl through. Next, we're going to the wharf. This is a series of smaller tanks highlighting different species that might get missed in the bigger tanks. Look at the lumpfish. They have suction discs that help them attach to rocks or other surfaces. In addition to the smaller tank, there's a larger tank with bubble viewing ports. Let's crawl inside one and see what we see. There's my family and a shark swimming right by. And how cool are these starfish? Did you know that they came in so many colors? Definitely take some time to explore these tanks. After the wharf, we're on to the rainforest. They have a huge piranha tank. And these little guys. I love poison dart frogs. They're so dang cute. Look at the size of this fish. It's bigger than a toddler. And check out the beautiful scales on this fish. They really shimmer in the sun. You can't quite see it on here. And these upside down jellies. Have you ever seen a jellyfish that looks like this? Here's a tank that reminds us of Finding Nemo, complete with Dory and Nemo and the anemones. But the biggest attraction in the rainforest is the tigers. They have Sumatran tigers that you can see up close during your visit. Moving on, we find ourselves in a coral lagoon. Did you know that coral is alive? Even though it looks like rocks or plants, it's not. Coral is an animal that takes root on the ocean floor. They don't move, so that's why it's easy to mistake them for plants. Check out these lionfish. I love the way their fins kind of sway in the water. After the lagoon, we find the Shipwreck. This is the other massive tank at the aquarium, home to sharks and sea turtles, among other things. This is what most people think of when they think aquarium. I could sit here and watch for hours. Sharing the exhibit hall with the Shipwreck are these beautiful jellies. They're mesmerizing. Finally, we come out into the StingRay touch tank. If you're very gentle, you can touch the StingRays using 2 fingers like this. See how I hold my fingers flat and am very careful not to scratch them with my nails? They felt so smooth and slippery. After the touch tank, it's time to exit and leave the aquarium. What part did you like best? Which animal was your favorite? Did you learn anything new? Let me know in the comments. And grown-ups, make sure to hit like and subscribe. We do a new unit every month and try to fit in a field trip with it. You don't want to miss a trip.